Thank you, Mr President. I'm introducing my First Nations Voice Repeal Bill because I believe in needs-based support and laws that do not create division within our society. Looking at the results of the Voice referendum, in which more than 60% of Australians voted no, and in South Australia 64% of voters rejected the concept of dividing the state on racial grounds, I know I'm not alone. Much has been said in this chamber about giving the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people a voice. Much has been said by our very own Minister of Aboriginal Affairs. Mr President, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders already have a voice, with 11 federal Indigenous parliamentarians and 26 Australia-wide. There are currently 110 advisory committees or groups that develop policies and provide advice on specific issues registered on the federal government website. This chamber needs to be concerned with the voice of all South Australians. It's time those already on salaries and guaranteed positions listened properly and acted to create real tangible benefits for those they represent. I've been accused in this chamber, Mr President, of being happy with the status quo for those in despairing conditions, despite repeatedly advocating for them and making my position clear. I want every dollar to go to those who need it, not on a greater bureaucratic arm that will comprise over 100 members and, due to the potentially ever-expanding nature of the committees, potentially many more in the future. How this equates to racism and happiness with the status quo is mind-boggling, but I will continue to advocate for needs-based, not race or ancestry-based support. I question why it's justified to treat any child differently based on their ancestry. Surely children, especially those living in poverty, should be prioritised based on the needs they have. Mr President, over 20,000 children are living in poverty in South Australia. It's unacceptable and deserves our attention, whether you are first-generation Australian, multi-generation Australian, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander or not. I've heard stories from dedicated staff about school children refusing to listen to them because they were stolen. School children need to be taught facts about history, both good and bad. The Honourable Robert Sims has been critical of One Nation's education policy, a policy that promotes critical thinking and the benefits of a merit-based society, a policy that would put an end to guilt-shaming, which no child should be subjected to. The way forward, Mr President, is not to create another massive level of bureaucracy. It lies in early intervention, keeping families together, focusing on education, building pathways to employment, regardless of background or ethnicity.